Hello, everyone. In this lesson, we're going to talk about the common mistakes that happens in the work of rationalizing either numerator or denominator. You hopefully you have seen the the previous video, which is about rationalizing numerator mostly, and the proper way to express it. But there are some common mistakes I would like to point out in this lesson. Okay, so we're going to take the first example as our example to show you how the common mistakes has come about. Okay, I'm going to use this example as our example to illustrate the common mistake. Okay, mistake number one. The first mistake we saw is this: instead of writing the conjugate as number one, okay, some people write it like this, maybe with parentheses, but this is a mistake. Why this is a mistake? Because these two are no longer guaranteed to be equal, because we don't know if this piece is one. Okay, so whether this one is one, obviously this is not going to be one. So this quantity will not be equal to that quantity. So in this mistake, okay, this equal sign is no longer valid. Okay, so this equal sign is invalid. If this equal sign is invalid, the following steps will not be counted for your points. So this is the first mistake. Okay, this is the first mistake. All right. And sometimes, okay, some student will continue this mistake and still get to this step. Okay, they still get to this step. And this will be the second mistake. Okay, so our first mistake is that this equal sign is not justified. And by going to the next step, you're making another mistake, because this quantity is not the same as this second quantity. So you're making double the mistake. So the consequence in this kind of situation, you're going to lose point on these two steps. You're going to lose points on these two steps. Excuse me. So please do not make this kind of mistake. Okay. As we said earlier, right, from this step, right, to the next step, we multiply by 1. Anything times 1 stay the same. So the way we make the 1 is to make, numerator is the same as the denominator. You can see this is the wrong and this is the right. Okay, and this is a rather common mistake. So please do not make this kind of mistake. All right. Okay, so let's continue. Mistake number 2. Okay, mistake number 2. So let me mark that this is a mistake. And this is a mistake. Okay, so that's those are the mistakes, because these are no longer equal. So this is equal sign is not justified. This equal sign is no longer justified. Big mistake number two. Big mistake number two. In this mistake, student making number one, but he did not do the conjugate. They still do the subtraction. Okay? When a student show work like this, right, you have, numerator equals to denominator. So this number is equals to 1 indeed. Okay, so this step is not wrong. This step is not wrong. So this step actually does not violate any mathematical principle, does not violate math principle. Okay, because anything times 1 stay the same. So you did not violate it. However, if the student go on to do this one, that would be a violation. Okay, that would be a violation because when you multiply the numerator with the numerator, you should get this piece. Okay, hold on. Let me do it this way. Okay, so the student will go on to the next step. But instead of getting the one I'm highlighting, the student should get, okay, the student should get -2, and this piece will no longer be true because 4 plus h in the root -2, this piece multiply itself equals to that piece being squared. Okay, it does not equals to, which is different from the product of the conjugate. Product of conjugate, you have 1 minus, 1 plus, and that you get to this piece. Okay, so this is the correct, and this is the correct. But when you do something like this, and you tell the reader that these two multiply equals to that, that would be a mistake. So in this case, you have made a mistake on that equal sign. Okay, so the rest of the step will not be justified. You're going to lose points for all of the rest, okay, because that one equal sign. However, some teacher might give you just a tiny little point for not violate mathematical principle, but definitively you're not getting to the next step, okay? It's not justified. So this is the second major mistake, okay? So be aware of these second major mistake, okay? And these two mistakes are the major mistakes we see in general, and it will generate a variety of other mistakes. Okay, it generates a series of other mistakes to hold on, let me erase that. Okay, and remove this. And you need to understand, right? These two formula, the fundamentally are these a minus b multiply a minus b, right? This is a minus 2, whoops. So a minus b, b is 2, a minus b, that's a minus b squared. Okay, so a minus b squared, that is equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. All right, so that's why this step does not equal to that step. However, it's a minus b multiply a plus b equals to a squared minus b squared, which is the latter one. Okay, so fundamentally, these mistakes are fundamental algebraic mistakes. Okay, so please avoid these mistakes at all costs. And that's why I encourage you to practice all those questions we have in homework. They are all, each one of them is from calculus text on the algebra part, and there's 100% chance you're going to see 99% of them, if not more. Okay, you have more coming your way if you're planning to take calculus. Okay, so that's all for this lesson about common mistakes in these kind of questions. I'm sorry, I got a typo here. Common mistake. Okay, mistake number 2. Thank you for watching.